Alright, I'm going to solve the Portswigger Lab Academy called Username Enumeration via subtly different responses. Got the lab here. First thing you want to do is make sure you have the usernames and passwords downloaded or just handy. I have them up here handy so I can copy and paste them real quick when we need them. And we'll just go ahead and go to the lab, go to my account. We're not provided with any default credentials or anything for this one, so we'll just go ahead and log in and see what the request looks like. First, we'll turn on the proxy, make sure we're capturing traffic in burp. I have burp open here on the left. We log in, we're going to see what this request looks like. It's just verifying that we want to proxy traffic in our browser through burp. And we're going to do that, accept, and then we'll get our response over here. And this is kind of what it looks like. We can just send this to repeater, and if we want, we can mess with it. And yeah, it gives us here invalid username and password, so we're actually going to be using that information. Because what we see here is invalid username or password here. So we're actually going to use this information, and that's what we're going to kind of be using for the subtly different responses. And so what we want to do is send this to intruder and start using the username and passwords for it. So what we can do is if you want to send something to intruder with a preset payload place position, you can just highlight the position that you want right there. I'm highlighting the username, and I'm going to send to intruder. Now when I go to intruder, that payload is already set. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a sniper attack on the username, and then when we find that, we'll do another sniper attack on the password. However, you can do a cluster bomb attack that does multiple payload sets, so we could do both payloads of username and password at the same time with cluster bomb. However, for this demonstration purpose, we're just going to be doing sniper, and also it can really increase the time required to be able to do that. So just kind of more manual, we'll show the first payload position as the username. And we're already set there, so let's look at the payloads. And what we can do is now we're going to go to our username list and just copy that. And you could have it in a file if you want and then upload the file here, but I'm just going to copy and paste it here, and that's our simple list. Now what we want to do is go to the settings and do grep extract, and we're going to grep extract because we're extracting something through the grep, and we're going to add something. What are we going to add? And that we see our request. We're working with this intruder request, and we see our response here. So we could just type in here what we want to do, what we want it to grep on. But we can just go ahead and highlight that, and then it gives us this automatically filled in. So we're going to highlight that, hit OK. Now it's going to be grepping that. It's going to be showing us each one of those responses. Now we can start the attack. Okay, then now it's starting the attack, and it is going to give us a baseline request. Here is our warning. So it's gonna give us our invalid username or password here. And so essentially we're just going to run through this whole list. It's 101 names each one, but what's going to happen is the subtly different error message here, instead of a period, it will just be a blank space, right? So we're just going to have to go through each one, and we can filter it through here. And once it's done, we will see one of the usernames that instead of a period, it'll just be a blank space. So I'll go ahead and pause it and return when we get the whole attack completed. Alright, so the attack has finished. And as you can see, if you just sort here by the warning or by the invalid username or password, which was our grep extract setting that we set, we found a username because each one has it says invalid username or password with a period. However, this one is subtly different, and it says invalid username or password, but instead of a period, it just has that space, right? And the username here is add. If you do this yourself, it'll be a different one every time. It's I guess it's randomized by portswigger, but for this current context, we found our username, so that's good. So we can go back here. I can just go ahead and discard this attack. And what we'll do now, we'll go back to intruder, the same intruder attack, but this time we will just change the username to what we found. So we know the username is this, right? So just quick walkthrough, we basically found the username through that subtly different response, and now we're going to use that username to find the password, right? So we'll add the password here. So now the password payload is set. We're going to be doing sniper once again. And we just want to clear this because that's our username list. Let's go grab the password list now. And not too many passwords. Of course, this is a simulation. In the real world, there would be a lot more passwords potentially. And we'll go ahead and copy that. And we will paste that here in the payload settings. Everything else the same. Once again, just looking at the position, we're doing sniper. We have our username that we found through the subtly different response, and now we're doing our password. So let's go ahead and start the attack. And I'm just on Burp Community Edition, so it does take a minute. It's starting the attack. It is going a little bit slow, but I will return when the attack is finished and we have found our valid password.